Welcome to this episode of Moonbats. I just turned the heat on in here, but it's got to warm up. But let's start on the Dyna. I got a lot to do. Alright, so I don't know, I think, oh yeah, in another video, I'll put it here. I talked about what I'm going to do to this bike. So let's talk about it again, because now this is the video about this bike. First thing I got to do is get this thing up to a reasonable level. I'm going to take the sissy bar off. I'm going to take the seat off. I'm going to take the fender off. I'm going to take the bars off. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take the tank off. Everything up here is coming off. What am I doing to it? I am putting a new tank on here, but I'm going to paint it. The speedo is going to go in the tank. All these little signal dummy light things, I don't think they have a spot on the new thing, so I'm either going, well, I'm not either. I'm going to make a little thing on the dash, on the new dash, to put them in there, or I'll just get rid of them because I don't really care. But it would be slick to have them, because sometimes when you're in high beams around. The seat is coming off. Did I unbolt it already? I did. The seat's coming off because I am going to make another seat. I'm gonna make a Crazy Frank fender style fender for it. I don't really know how I'm gonna do it yet. I really don't want to cut the struts, the fender struts, but if I have to, I will. So yeah, I'm gonna try to build it, see how it looks with the struts on there. 90% chance I'm gonna just cut the struts off, because the bars, I'm actually gonna put some bars that I have up there on the wall that I made a long time ago on here, and I'll bring those down. I'll show you those in a second. Those are gonna go on here to test. I really don't know if they're gonna work. I had them on my Sportster, but they're a little taller, a little bit of pullback. You'll see. And I got fork tubes. I'll show you those right now too. That's what I'm gonna do, I think, in this video. Is I'm gonna tear down I'm gonna take the seat off, the sissy bar off, maybe, or maybe I'll start up front. I don't know. Guys, I'm really just I'm figuring this out as I go. I have no plan. I'm not planning kind of guy. I cut my hair. It's cut. So let's start. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by jacking up the front end here, restrapping this all down. I guess I should probably disconnect my battery. Just pull it, probably is the best way. Anyways, we're going to start with the front, the forks here. These are 49 millimeter tubes. It's just the stock. It's the stock front end. I don't know. There's nothing weird about it. I'm going to take these guys off, try to clean this up a little bit because they're corroded. Take these guys off on that side. Simon has, on his Dyna, he's got spoked wheels. And I have these mags. And I think we might trade. I don't know. We got to measure. I think we'll have to do a bearing swap, but that's not a big deal to make it fit, because his is a 13 and mine's a 07. So I think I'll have to do a bearing swap to make that work, but he wants mags and I want spokes. So, whatever. And I need a new tire anyways, front tire. We'll just swap tires. All that stuff's easy to do. It's just standing here drinking things. Sodas. I drink sodas. First thing, fork tubes. I got these fork tubes. I'm not a shill. I got them from TC Bros. But I do want to say all they do is they just are a V-twin redistributor. They were the cheapest that I could find. I got some 4-over tubes.
The reason they're the cheapest, and this may seem silly, is they come with the spacers that you got to add. It's just PVC pipe. I've done this before a bunch of times. It's literally just PVC pipe that you add in. But the key for me was that, well, the key is that they include there you go. They include a fork seal kit. It's like 25-30 bucks, but it's 25 or 30 bucks less than you would spend. I thought this was pretty neat too. I know how to do this. I've done this. It's the same as on a Sportster, but they give you directions, which is pretty chill. So yeah, like I said, there's nothing like, they don't make these tubes. Like, these are made by other people. I think these are probably made in China. But these are compressed, but they're 4-over, so they're gonna put me up higher, much longer. So I guess what I'll do the first video here, I'll strap the bike down. I'll re-strap it because I can't strap it here when you're jacking it up and taking the wheel off because it'll just fall. So I got to figure that out. I know that the bottoms of these frames, they don't like to use a flat jack to hold them up. That's always what I use, is a flat jack, but I think you just got to put a piece of wood under it so it sits on the frame rails on each side of the, like the bottom of the frame has like a V notch or shaper. It's just not level. It's not flat. I learned this the hard way trying to change that front tire because the slid off the jack and I caught it before it fell, thankfully. So be careful jacking up your stuff. Just careful. I don't know. Let's move straps around. Start with that. All right. So this is what I'm talking about a flat jack. Let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. So over on that side, over there, you can see that it's touching. A little bit of light there. And here, there's a gap. So what happens is the whole bike tips over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of wood right here. I'll find something. And that should keep it level. And then what I'll do is I'll strap down the bike so it doesn't roll backwards. I'll put it in gear. That's a step one, actually. And then, I don't know, I'll strap it in a different way so I can have that front wheel off the ground. And then when I put the tubes in, it's going to be even higher. So I need to make sure I'm not fucking myself over. These are all things I've learned in the past about trying to extend your fork tubes. It's different sizes. Things go in different places. So careful. Forgot I was lifting the front of the bike and not the back of the bike. So the jack would have been too far back. So up front, the frame rails are flat. But you definitely gotta like put something to keep it from rolling backwards. So I'm gonna put like a wheel chock, some straps to hold the wheel in place. I don't know. I hate doing this so much because it's just stressful. But we'll get some straps. I'm gonna bring you in close here. It's up there. That jack. I don't like, you can see how it's like at an angle a bit. Hopefully it doesn't fall, but I've got these straps pulling it this way to keep it from falling backwards and down onto the jack. And I've got this strap here holding the back wheel, and I've got my nice wheel chock, which is just a piece of wood, which isn't gonna do shit under all this pressure. Yeah, that's that. So I got to, the way these things work is you gotta take the wheel off, and then you loosen this bolt, take off the top, and then you remove it. But usually what I recommend, I tell people, is you loosen this while you still have the fender on, because that way you don't have to clamp anything. And then there's the bolt at the bottom down here, which goes into the bottom of the dampener. and that you also want to loosen. I think it's like a 8 millimeter. It's a metric, or it's an Allen key on the bottom there. So you loosen that, and then you can take the fender off, because otherwise you're fighting the spin of this trying to tighten that shit down. So this just, there's steps. The last asshole that worked on this bike didn't follow the torque specs for this, or they're just whatever. So I tried to undo these two Allen keys right here that hold the axle on, and they stripped out. I'm the asshole. I'm the last asshole that worked on this bike. I think I am, at least. Anyways, we'll just assume I'm the asshole. So it's an Allen key. So here's a little thing that I learned a long time ago that works 75%, 100% of the time. You get the biggest Torx bit that'll almost fit in that hole, that Allen key hole, and you fucking hammer that boy in there. Well, you might ruin your torque bits, but that's not my problem. So you hammer that thing in there. Let's try this one. Maybe this one's work. The other, so I have two Torx bits here. This one just fits right in. And oh, maybe this is the one, actually. Let's see. Yeah, this is. No. Maybe. Let's see. So, sometimes you can hammer a Torx bit in there. This doesn't feel like it's going to be tight enough, but it'll get just enough bite to loosen it. And there's also this tool you can use, which is like a hammer drill. And so let's try that first. It's not doing it either. I was really a big asshole here. Let's use leverage for my friend. Oh boy, what did I do? Nope, it's just spinning. Cool. So that's great. Really glad I did that. Fuck me. Nope. Fuck. Cool. I'll figure this out. It did work, and I'm still an asshole, but this is, I'm just gonna get this out all the way. I hammered the next size up into the bolt after I stripped it out using the other sizes, and Torx just gives you a little bit more grip on it. I'm going, Jesus, no wonder this thing fucking sees stuff. It's like 1,000,000 miles long. Alright. I don't know if that was my fault. Either way, I'm going to replace this bolt. But you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's fucked up. So let's try the next one. So this is a T30 bit. It was like 9/16 9. I don't know, man. Don't ask me questions. I just stick shit in. Alright. There's that one. Let's see if this hammering into there is going to work. Hopefully it does. Yeah, look at that. That one came right out. Probably because the other side was just way too tight. So, one side too tight, one side too loose. Welcome to my life. Before I put this all back together, well, I don't even have to, but I will. Oh, this had some Loctite on it. So this wasn't me putting this together. Someone else did this. I definitely didn't do that. But you can see I hammered it in, and it's in there pretty good. So it's gonna stay in there. All fork shit is metric. This one is no different. It's 12 millimeters. So I should have left the axle. No, I can't leave the axle. But we'll just. God damn. All right. Let's. Why is everything so hard? Let's just give it a little impact here. Oh. 12 millimeter. I hate motorcycles. Oh, fuck me, wrench it. Alright, got it loose with this 12 millimeter big ass thing. And I just used levers, bigger levers. I think my wrist is broken, so I gotta use other things instead of my muscles. I fell and, broke a rib. Maybe broke my wrist. I don't know. It's fine, I can move it. I just can't do anything with it. So, I did those. Now I gotta go up and loosen. I can pull the fork. No. I'm gonna loosen the top nuts, and then I can pull one tube out at a time. One at a time. Everything's being an asshole. Told you my wrist hurts. So, I don't want to deal with this shit. So let's just, really? This shouldn't be that hard. That's a little excessive. Come on. Whoever did this, really. There you go. Alright. At least they're loosened off now. Like, come on. Air tools? For a fork? Fuck out of here. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Let's take off the fender. I'll pull this tube out. Alright, so this isn't just me. Every single bolt on this bike is just like torqued to hell. So maybe I wasn't even the one who did that tire. Maybe someone else helped me, because Jesus Christ, even the fenders, I tried to use my impact. And it was like, no, this is way too hard for an impact. Let's use your hands. Hurt your wrists even more, Tony. Because you aren't in enough pain as it is. You should be hurting. Anyways, I'm taking the fender off. Let's take this stupid fender off. So I can take one of these things off of here. And then I'm tired. Oh, I guess I gotta paint my fender too if I'm painting the bike, huh? I didn't think about that. I'm painting my tank, I'm painting the fender. It's got some scratches on my fender. I should fix those while I'm over here. So I'll add the front fender to that paint job that I gotta do. At least it's gonna be black. Maybe it's not gonna be black. What color should I paint my bike? I know what I want to do with it, and it's gonna be kind of wild, but I like my bikes to be not black. I don't know, I just like color in my life. That purple tank right there, that was a bike that I painted and rode that to South Dakota. Now, if I didn't have to paint the fender, I do now. I rode that bike to South Dakota. I was back for a week. Yeah, a week. I got on it, hopped on to go grab a burger. And some dude cut in front of me and I T-boned him. Yep, nice chips in my fender. This is what I was talking about. There's little scrapes right here. I mean, if I'm painting the whole bike, I might as well just take care of that too, right? Cool. So, fender. Add it to the pile of stuff to paint. That definitely did. Scratch, whatever. So it's like that David Mann painting where it's like he's like putting his bike together, and then he's got what is it? The gas tank falls off. That's what it is. Basically, that's my entire life. My gas tank's just falling off. All right, so I loosened all those things. And look at that, these tubes just want to slide right on out. Perfect, that means I did it right. Okay, fork tubes. So I'm gonna start this now. Do one side at a time. One side at a time. Okay. Guess I could show you what I'm doing. This is that big ass bolt that I had to crank out, and I just put it on the bench, and then you just kind of drain it out, and it stinks. Well, this is actually pretty good shape, but you gotta I'm not just draining it into my sink. But I'll show you how to do this in a second. So you gotta yeah, like that. This shit's messy. I'm gonna probably put some gloves on in a second. You just do this a bunch of times. That's the sound it makes. Take a look at this. So this is, you can see what I'm doing here. I used a punch right here. Push this guy off. And then there's this seal. Oh, fuck, I'm getting a mess. Oh, Jesus. Whoops. I forgot about the messy part. All right, that's all right. Let's just get that out and we'll just scoot everything over. All right, so there's this dust cover here, which in the kit, I'll show you in the kit, the new kits. Here's the kit. So there's this dust cover here. That's this guy, dust cover, this guy. And then the seal goes underneath that. And then on top of that seal is this ring here that holds the seal in so it doesn't go pow, pow. And what you do is basically you pop this guy off, then you pull that ring out with a little screwdriver and just pops right out. And then you just yank them all apart, and when you pull it, it pulls the seal out when you do that. Usually. Yeah. So I'm going to do all that. If you want to watch videos about how to rebuild your fork tubes, go watch a video about how to rebuild your fork tubes. This is probably not that video. I mean, unless that's all you needed to know. This is how to get angry at your motorcycle. That's what this video is. How to get angry at your motorcycle. Just go ahead and just clean that. We'll mess up right there. So for this guy, you just take a screwdriver and you take it off. It's filthy. You can see it. It was rusty, gross, disgusting. Just pop this guy in here. Let's get my trusty old tool here. This goes inside of here. Go, and then angle it out, and that just pops right off. Viola. There's a long story about violas, I'm sure. Yeah, violas. They're a thing. Just come on, just stop being gross. So I always save, whenever I do a fork seal job, I just save everything. Because, I mean, sometimes it doesn't matter. Like, you're just like, oh, I'm never going to use this again. But like, this ring is still good. It's rusty, but it's fine. The seal is probably fine still. So if you're ever like leaving for a trip and it's 3 in the morning and your fork tubes are leaking, and you're like, I don't know what to do. You just pop that other guy on, and then that's it. So that's how you take that guy off. That's it. That's your fork seal job. Fork seal job. This guy goes on here. Let's go on there. This guy goes down here. Underneath. Here's your fork seal with a ring, the washer, and then there's this like brass doodad down here that you could replace if you really want to go crazy. And this pops up and the spring is inside of here. You got to take this cover off to do that, and my hands are dirty, so that's the next step. All right, I'm just gonna clean this out. I'm not doing it in the sink. The catch tray for the oil pan is still there. Don't worry. Not destroying the environment. that much. This shit is so messy. Just so you know. And I'm just gonna clean this off. The reason I'm doing that is because these are gonna get put away, and I'll have them still. And I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with oily shit. I should put my gloves back on. So I just looked up stuff just to make sure that I was not wrong or losing my goddamn mind. Let me bring you in here and show you what's going on. Tubes have these bushings down here. You got to transfer that over. There's like a little slit in them right there, so they pop apart and they slide off, and then they slide back on the end of these guys right here. You can see they're like machined, and they got the circles. And then the order is, what's the order? It's this guy like this on here, with this guy like this, probably. I don't have to look at it. It's like this, I think. Yeah, it's like this. And then this tube goes on top. And that's your fork. And they're progressive. So like the more tightly bound one is on the bottom. And then this goes over the top of this. You know, it's not a complete rebuild, but whatever. And this is your dampener, which is like right here. You got to replace this little guy, which is in the kit. And this goes underneath the seal. This washer goes underneath the seal, and that taps into the thing. You just use a PVC pipe that's bigger than this, and like tap it down. I'm pretty sure I got one, but if not, I'll go buy one. That's just to get the seal. Or you can't use a socket. You got to use a PVC pipe because it's got to fit over it. Cool. So I'm gonna clean everything up, put it all together, and then like I just got to put it together, and then I'll put it in there, and then I'll show you how long they are. And I bet you this video is long enough. Maybe. Probably. Alright. I did all that stuff. Here's the tube sticking out at the top. You gotta press that down and push that thing in, and it's like the bane of everybody's existence. You gotta like use the cap. So it's where's that cap at? This cap. You gotta push this cap, use this cap to push this down, and like you gotta like squeeze the shit out of it, and everybody hates it. So I'm gonna hold off on doing that for a minute. But I wanted to show you, this is the difference between how much longer it is. There's 4 over. So I gotta bring the bike up a little bit more. This is what I was talking about with the wheels in a different spot. I gotta bring the bike up. Maybe I might be able to just loosen this up actually and move it forward, and then just slide the wheel right in. We'll see. But it might have to go up a touch more. I think that's gonna be it for this video. I'm tired, but I know the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off, and I gotta figure out how to get the wiring out of this tree right here, because they run it through the tree, and that's stupid, and I hate it. So that's all got to come out. I think the tank's got to come off. Why is it not blurry? There we go. The tank's got to come off, and then I can get to the wiring, or maybe it's just right here in these little, it's probably just right here actually. The plugs will come out and slide through there, hopefully right out that way, without having to cut anything. Yeah. Oh wait, I wanted to show you the bars that I'm going to put on. So I'll show you those real quick. Give me a second. These are the bars. They go right there. You can see, you know. Here, I'll put them on the ground. I made these a bit ago. They went on my Sportster, but they're internally wired for turn signals and nothing else. So in order to run those guys, I got to eliminate. Whoa, that's maybe not the best idea. Whatever. I gotta eliminate all this stuff. So turn signals are here, so I gotta move my kill switch. Right? I gotta move my starter button. That's the turn signal. No big deal. These two are easy. You can put them really anywhere on the bike. I kind of like not having them on the bars because then it makes the bike just a little touch easier to get rid of. I already have this as my brake switch, which is usually built into here, but it always breaks, and so I always get one of these. And then it runs along the bars, no big deal. And then headlight switch, I'll have to move. The other turn signal will be on the bars. And then my horn, I don't really need a horn, but I'll keep it. Those are really like the only things I gotta move. So I just gotta move my headlight switch. I could even probably just put a little like switch somewhere. I don't know, push button. Who knows? I can do whatever I want. That's the beauty of it. So I gotta do all that. But first I want to finish off this fork and try to not be so sketchy about it, because I don't like it just sitting on this lift here. Cool. Like, subscribe. Hopefully this next video will be a bit funnier. Maybe I'll get someone to come help me. Or not. And it'll just be me giving you tech stuff and learning how to build motorcycles. Because I clearly know what I'm doing. See you next time. I'm leaving, but tubes are on. I couldn't get the other cap on. They're like really hard to do by yourself. So I'm gonna have, or I'll just do it later. I'm exhausted. There's some fork tubes. 4 over.